Alright, welcome to Just Morpheus Gaming. I wanted to give a quick introduction for this episode as I did a hard cut post edit, and yeah, Dwarf Fortress sucked me in and I just kept playing and playing. So I'll just pick up where I left off, which was getting sidetracked, I guess. The overall objective is to get the well up. But without further ado, I continue the Let's Play. The one thing about this pile of random plants, most of this goes into bags, and you can even run into a problem with, like, I put my plump helmets into a bag, and then because they could put the bags in the buckets over here, then it almost becomes like I have to pull it out of the bucket to get it out of the bag, and it can cause problems. Plump helmets. I was trying to figure out the best way. I probably want to just forbid plump helmets from here. In a way, I hate getting that granular within, because now there's only one thing within plants that I don't have. I could have just configured it to pull them down. The one thing is, if I don't use the plump helmets in a timely fashion, they will rot. So on that note, I probably need to set up a refuse pile too. Away from your fort, in a way, is a good idea, depending on what you put in there. Because if it's like a bunch of dead bodies and bones, and we froze. I need to get my water up immediately. Add task, rock mechanisms. So I'm just going to make a couple of rock mechanisms because I need 2 to wire a switch up. 1 for the switch and then 1 for the wiring. This is almost full, so I could dump it in here and start to actually build out the well. I was wondering about digging that deeper now and how best to do that. I'm going to continue my stairwell down here and see what my next layer looks like. I am midwinter and not feeling like I'm doing that great. Come on. Finish mining. So with that, I can start to make the next chunk of bedrooms. There is a way to mass cancel, but I haven't actually really had to think with it. The job still hasn't been picked up. There it goes. So it has to be wet, and I'll have to double issue that command. Now I want to get my people down here smoothing this. I was looking at going down maybe even 2 more. Having a deep well is not a bad idea. None of my people are running down here to smooth this yet. What does my job list look like? Some of these are restricted in that, like, only my farmer can plant these seeds. So there's only really one person in the whole fort that does that job. I was wondering if I just go into my labor and for the time being tell everybody can do this job. Because I need to get the sandstone smooth before it leaks a bunch of water in here. Okay, dig the stair down 1 more. Issue the same orders. Smooth everything. Dig down 1 more. Yeah, this would have been a good place for my well. I don't know how I managed to miss the main aquifer when trying to dig it. Okay, it does keep going for a bit. At this point, I'm happy to, probably on this level, just try and dig over and clear it out. Because from this level, if I can get my miners in here, I can almost pin them by telling them to continue to channel these down. Because if I channel that down, they won't be able to get up anymore. And that's interesting. He's trying to climb up the wall. What I was actually hoping to do was dig down deeper. They're not going to take the job now that it's isolated. That might have been actually a mistake. I can dig it the other way around. I need to get to my well, which is joins here. And then down to there. At this point, I should be able to do stairs up. So yeah, I'm already punching out of the aquifer right here, which is good. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going back into it, though. Midwinter, this is a little bit of a slow process, and I'm trying to make it quick. One thing I was very much entertaining is like, now how do I wire this door together? So I can go up, up, and I can actually access it from here right now. So this stairwell is going to be leaking forever from above. It's going to almost be a little problematic. I'm going to actually erase this one job because I need that to be an up. And that should be plenty of well depth. Channel. So I can cut all those down. And that one. So I can go up, 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 up. And I should still be able to have access to that door then. The dwarves really appreciate having flooring. If I turn some of this into flooring and before I put the switch on top of it, otherwise when I take out the switch, I'll have to wire it again. And then I want to wire this mechanism. Link lever, no accessible mechanisms. Do I need 2 spare gears? I was also wondering the legitimacy of trying to lock out all of these stones. If I want them to move all the chert stones, I can just create a dump pile. That'll get that cleaned up. This is definitely one of the more janky fleet, yes. Do want to work more on the bedrooms. Walls, sandstone. Boom, boom, boom. One thing I was almost entertaining here is getting somebody to do baseline engraving. Engravers take some time to train, if you will, unless you get lucky and you get somebody good at it. I was just going to try and get somebody to start engraving. Getting an engraver up will very much help the value of rooms. So I actually have a book binder. He's probably a good candidate to transition. I have a woodworker that isn't flagged for woodworking. Yeah, but both my people are more skilled than he is, so I can shuffle him off to doing something else. One thing I will do is, since I have a weaver, I'll make a custom detail for that weaver. Here, I wish you could search in here. That's going to be under crafting, I think. Yeah, weaving. So he's an adequate weaver, but at least he has experience that he can build on. My happiness is definitely increasing. Need some food. It's entertaining making an egg pile, or can eggs just go in here? Eggs just go in here. One thing I should have done from the very get-go is set up 2 basically perpetual tasks here. I need to milk animals, process plants, spin thread, shear animals. So shearing animals, every day I'd like to restarts if completed, check daily. Every day I'd like to try and shear 3 animals. And every day I would also like to spin thread. If I have 4 spin thread, so that'll get my baseline thread going. Build furniture beds. 2 beds shy. Jobs complete. People becoming better at their jobs. The carpenter got stung by a bumblebee. I really need to figure out where the hive is. I have dancers and prophets visiting, which is nice. And there isn't any stone here that I don't know about. One thing about this kind of perpetuating water from leaking above, I do need to get my well done. Link lever. And somebody is actually going to make that, right? So that is, in a way, a lot jankier than I normally work it. But I should just be able to forbid this door and start flooding it with water. One of the things I was entertaining is, because in order to deal with the aquifer of this leaking water, I basically have to clear this. And I have to clear this. And I'll have to clear this. And in a way I'll have to clear this, but this has water under it that I know is there. And back to some of this I could, if I just drilled through here, I could almost use this part of the aquifer that I know is here to help fill my well. And I think that is what I'll end up doing here. Because the other option is that I can put tile down. I can put like real flooring down. And it won't leak even if there's water on top of it. Indecision. So the main thing, I can also just put a wall up here and call this a loss. Cancel construction. What I want to do is build the wall over here. Or I would like to do, let's make some more stone gears. Why are you grumpy? That's good to note. Annoyed after having a drink without using a goblet, cup, or mug. No, I brought a mug. My craft shop is the answer here. Rock mugs. Yeah, he's grumpy because he didn't have a cup to drink out of and he had to use his hands. It's going to wire this to multiple doors. 4 grumpy people, 3 medium people. People are definitely hauling and making sandstone blocks. More bookcases. I need to automate the dressers. As long as I don't have 3 empty rock cabinets on hand. And I have 3 boulders. Make 3 cabinets. I now have the gears to link this. Actually create the double linking it did. What I need to do is build, construct, wall, make that a high priority. So this one block will dry out, but now that's part of the reservoir system that will help fill the well. Build, constructs, floor, tell somebody to pull the lever. So this will start to dump the water into the main. And it is going to be stable. Or at least this level is. Yeah, no, looking good. So the next thing I need is the well. Block, sandstone, bucket, oak. Need to make more buckets. Chain, pigtail, mechanism, sandstone. And this is in some ways where like you can get a legendary bucket. There are ways you can almost game the system with like now every time my people get water, they go look at a really nice bucket. There are in a way shortcuts to trying to keep your people happy. Alright, I have a well, and the well is actually operational. But I now have indoor water, which is good because outdoor we are frozen. How is the whole shearing industry going? Seems to be good. So, workshops, clothing. My people are going to be appreciative of having new clothes. Setting up the tasks is kind of a pain. At this point, I'm getting wool perpetually from my sheep, so I'm just going to set up a few quick wool jobs. Wool is a type of yarn. Yarn socks, yarn trousers, yarn shirts. So this is the basic of like my people without fresh socks and pants and shirts, they're going to be pretty unhappy. They're living in tatters. They don't appreciate that. Because the other one I wanted to not automate was shoes. There are people without shoes in my fort that would appreciate shoes. I want to automate this one. Alright. So I almost wondered about trying to assign somebody to be a clothier. Let's see what I actually have for existing people. It's under crafts. I have 2 clothiers already, which is nice. My weaponsmith knows how to make clothes competently. So yeah, quality really makes a difference. In fact, if you don't know what you're doing and you try to make clothes, you're probably not going to make the best clothes, and therefore people aren't going to really want to wear them. We'll actually make a bunch more of the bedrooms. Just realized I kind of fell behind on that because there's another 6 and here's another 6. So 18 of my 19 people should have bedrooms, which is fantastic. I'm just going to make 3 more here and dedicate the dorm up above for the people coming to visit. And it looks like all of my engraving's done, so I'll just kind of keep going with the engraving jobs. This is where I already did. Oh, these are the ones I already did. And this is really just about getting my engravers experience on how to be better engravers. There's something interesting about, like, this wall. The guy actually engraved an image of Rawl the crystalline gem. So one of their deities probably put a little more effort into improving the temples. One thing at a time. At this point, I should be having people that aren't starving. And can I start increasing my meals? And better fed and clothed. I'd say it's coming along pretty nicely. I've late winter. I'm almost coming up on the 1 year. Coming up on spring. We're almost through a whole nother season. And there is spring, which is good because the ocean will defreeze. Although with spring brings rains in general. There's a saying about that. No, I somehow failed that. I want to cancel all of these jobs. I didn't lay down the walls, but tiles. I feel a little silly on that. Because now I have to actually go into construction destruction and say tear up all this. Well, I do want the one flooring here. And then the rest I want walls. And I definitely tore that up all weird. Whoops. Because yeah, floor, I want flooring here. And then I want to deconstruct, not that one, this one. And then put the flooring back in the middle of the other room. And I should have realized that when I took out the tile in the center. It doesn't necessarily take long to slap some of this together with the 19 people I have. And a crew or a fortress supports 200 by default. I'm curious why those last two jobs didn't get picked up almost immediately. It will be nice to get the end of the bedrooms up. Okay, construct wall. It should fix that. So yeah, at this point I can start to, in a way I feel, better expand. I should be having enough blocks on hand to be able to do... I'm running into having a bunch of chert blocks. How many chert blocks do I actually have? I only have 24. It's one of the legitimacy of trying to... 18. 24 will be in chunk. If I break a tree, the branches can fall down on top of other things, which in this case is potentially this wall here. Oh, it is raining and I issued a bunch of outdoor orders. If it wasn't just a matter of running them up here and getting it done. But yeah, that person was grumpy. Why'd you put us out here? I'm gonna make the pen now not include that. Paint it. And then I'm actually probably gonna call it for this episode or whatever. But yeah, I've definitely been enjoying getting this set up. The fortress is coming along nicely. Looks like I'm a little low on food. But yeah, at this point, not bad. And for a year into it, I'm going to call it a win. I have another masterpiece. Peachwood bed. Wonderful. So yeah, somebody's going to be sleeping well. But with that being said, look forward to playing some more Dwarf Fortress in future.